Good morning, everyone. I'm Larissa Draves from the Senior Enrichment Day Planning Committee. Welcome to today's webinar. I'd like to thank our sponsors for Senior Enrichment Day. Thank you to Spectrum Health Big Rapids for being our advertising sponsor. Thank you to Lerner, Zerny, and FATH Financial Group. We have used their conference room throughout the event. And thank you to the Commission on Aging for keeping this part of our community for over 30 years. If anytime you have questions during the webinar today, please go ahead and just put them in the chat room. And also please know this is being recorded. This is a perfect one to record because this is something you're going to watch again and again. You're going to want to try this more than once. So thank you. At this time, I'm going to ask our speaker to start preparing her PowerPoint while I introduce her. And we welcome today Prerna Sethi. Prerna is a physical therapist at Spectrum Health's Reed City Outpatient Rehabilitation. She has a passion for patient outcomes and dedication to continuing ed. Not only has she received her master's and doctoral degrees in physical therapy, but she completed her orthopedic clinic specialist board certification. This accomplishment required over 2,000 hours of orthopedic patient care just to qualify to take the exam. She helps joint replacement patients and other post-op cases with facilitating understanding how physical therapy plays a vital role in their recovery. And she utilizes her background in health, wellness, yoga, nutrition, and physical therapy to get patients back to activities they love and enjoy quickly and as pain-free as possible. Prerna is originally from India, but has spent a significant amount of time in Europe before coming to the States. And in her leisure time, she enjoys travel, exploring new places, going hiking, doing yoga, and also enjoys dance and music. Prerna, thank you so much for sharing with us today. We greatly appreciate it.
All righty. Good morning, everyone. I hope everyone is doing great. We're going to talk about chair yoga today. So I found this cool picture. We're not going to do anything funky. It's just for presentation. So someone said that exercise is actually a celebration of what your body can do and not a punishment of what you eat. That's what even I believe in. It should not be like, oh, I got to do exercise. No, you should be having fun. So yoga is one of the forms where you actually enjoy it. So they say it's never too late to begin, and I believe you can start yoga at any age. It can be an excellent way to keep your body strong and healthy without putting that joint stress that can come with most of the activities like weightlifting or jogging. So this is not only safe and feasible form, but also enjoyable.
Prerna, please excuse me, but PowerPoint isn't on. Did you want me to share, or are you able to share your screen?
Oh, can you not see me? Can you see it now?
No, I cannot see the second screen. I can see your screen.
Okay, sorry, I can do that.
That's okay.
Can you see me now?
Yes, excellent. It looks perfect. Thank you, Prerna.
All right, sorry about that. So the first thing what I said, that funky picture, this is what I'm talking about. All right, can you see the screen and me now both?
Yes, it looks wonderful. Thank you.
Okay, all right, thank you. So what is yoga? Yoga is actually a mind, body, and soul connection, which involves stretching and strengthening postures in combination with deep breathing and relaxation. Now, there are actually 11 different types of yoga, but we're not going to discuss that today. We're discussing chair yoga. So what is chair yoga? Chair yoga is a type of yoga that is being modified to allow the participants to perform required exercises from a seating position. That's pretty much obvious on a chair rather than sitting on a floor. Basically, you don't have to go down on a mat or on the floor and then face all the issues of how am I going to get up. So this doesn't involve any twisting or bending in the way the traditional yoga poses demand. So this in turn allows all our seniors and some people living with disabilities to still reap the benefits of yoga without risking their safety. So why do we do chair yoga? Like, why is this a highlight of the day? There are numerous benefits of chair yoga. I highlighted that in my slide here, as you can see. I'm going to share some results of the recent studies of the studies are actually from 2014 onwards till 2019, 2020. So there are a lot of recent studies conducted. First, I'm going to talk about how it helps in improving the balance. The results of one of the recent studies conducted in Florida Atlantic University shows that chair yoga group improved significantly compared to the music intervention. Now, this study was conducted in people suffering from Alzheimer's. So they found great results in people that it helps to improve the balance of older adults, and thus that indicates that motor learning is still possible even in people with dementia. However, the study said that this is one of the long-term effects, which can be achieved over an extended period of time. So it's hard to comment that it's achieved pretty soon. So we cannot say this is a very short-term thing. Now, what happens is, eventually, once the balance improves, especially in older adults, this results in decreased number of falls and fracture. Not only that, but it also reduces the fear of falls. This is pretty common in populations who are 60 plus years old. Falls is very common. So this in turn helps. Like once your balance improves, number of falls go down, and the vicious cycle breaks there. So the data in the 2014-2016 Wisconsin project supported that there was a 54% reduction of falls in that facility. They had conducted this over a period of 2 years, and I believe they had their participants practice yoga 3 times a week. They conducted it along with the home exercises. So they had pretty good results in the number of falls. Other than balance, what else helps is, as we can see up here, it improves bone density. So a 2016 study indicated that the bone quality improved in participants who performed yoga, and that appeared to raise the bone mineral density in spine and femur safely. So this is like kind of non-pharmacological intervention, which just helps to improve your bone mineral density. The Harvard study data demonstrated that yoga can actually improve bone mineral density in post-menopausal females. So this is one of the, I would say, best form, because I've seen patients. I was going to say a good form, but I've actually seen a lot of patients helping them with their osteoporosis. Now, not only the bone density falls, let's talk about anxiety and stress. It does help. Yoga, in turn, actually helps in decreasing the levels of stress hormone called cortisol, and that can actually alleviate the symptoms of anxiety and depression. So in National Institutes of Health survey, they said that more than 85% of people who engaged in yoga said that they experienced reduced stress as a result. So based on that, they had another study. I combined the results of a lot of studies that said that after performing 6 months of regular practice, they had improved quality of sleep, depression, anxiety, daytime dysfunction were less. There was one interesting study I came across. I just added it at the last minute because I found that interesting. The article was published in one of the journals of alternative therapies in health and medicine. That said that people who are more than 60 years, especially who struggle with insomnia, those were the population group who participated in the yoga classes, and they were doing 2 times a week along with daily sessions at home. So after 3 months, they reported significant improvement in both duration and quality of sleep. Apart from all these benefits, the one which I believe we should discuss, especially during this pandemic time, is the enhanced breathing. I guess everyone is hearing that how we should focus on our breathing exercises to fight this virus. Yoga helps in that. So how it helps is actually it expands your lung capacity, and that's how it improves your pulmonary function. So supporting this is a study which got published in Journal of Human Kinetics. It said that elderly females, they found out that they practiced yoga for 3 times a week for 12 weeks, and they saw a significant improvement in their respiratory function. So I believe that these are amazing benefits we all can get by practicing yoga pretty much on a regular basis. As we all know, yoga improves flexibility. It definitely would help to improve the overall range of motion. So what happens is, when you hold the pose for several breaths, it encourages the muscles and the connective tissues to relax and loosen. That's how your overall flexibility improves, your range of motion improves, and you can definitely have the other benefits of decreased joint stiffness, decreased pain. Now, supporting this is another article in International Journal of Yoga Therapy, which said that if you regularly do yoga, you can actually boost your overall flexibility. Now, one interesting thing is it also improves your gait speed. So people who can walk fast can actually add, on an average, 15 to 20 years to their lives. So these are some interesting benefits which we can get if we practice yoga regularly. So this is one of the evidence-based review which says that it is not only helpful in the physical, like as we can see it here, it definitely works in improving multiple planes: physical, mental, emotional, social, and vital, like improve vitality, sleep, event, all these myriad of preparations. So in the condition. Now, when I say evaluate instructor, even if in any other issues or problems not advisable, that's why it's your or your therapist. Now, say for example, if some people have glaucoma, well, we're not going to do any inverted head position with them because that's going to increase pressure on eyes. People with sciatica, they should be checking first with their therapist what can they handle, because there are some spinal exercises which might aggravate the symptoms. So it's better not to just, try a random picture or a video and see that, yeah, I'm going to try it out. I would not do that. Gathering your gear, you definitely need comfortable clothing. And for some people, I would suggest if you want to put your non-slip socks or sneakers, because if you are concerned about your seating or about your footing actually, that you're going to lose the grip, it's better to wear some comfortable footwear. Now, definitely we need a chair for this. The chair, I would suggest, if it has a back support, works great, and it should be steady. So if it's a floor where you're I've seen most videos where people put their chair on the yoga mat. Long story short, you don't need a yoga mat. All you need is this chair should be steady. It should not move when you are moving. And it should be at a comfortable height from the floor, so you can perform all those postures without a fear, oh, am I going to tip this way, am I going to fall? That should not be the concern. Now, I did mention here, seeking a qualified teacher. That is optional. When I say optional, I don't mean to skip this step before getting evaluated. The only reason why I mentioned it there, because research has supported quite a lot, not only in yoga, I'm going to say in physical therapy also. Whenever it is supervised, like supervised exercises, it leads to greater improvement in not only muscle strength, but in dynamic balance in older people than the unsupervised group. So it's better to start under some supervision till you can wean off and start on your own. Most importantly, start slow. this is not a sprint, like you just do it and get it done. So you should actually avoid any overstretching whenever you do any yoga posture. There is always enough rest after each pose, and you should never rush into new postures. Because if you happen to do that, you might strain a muscle, which is not a good idea to do. Just remember that it's not about, keeping up with the people around you. Like when you join a yoga class, you don't want to like completely, this person is doing that. It's not about that. You just have to focus on your pose and your own pace. So we cannot rush just because it needs to bend completely. I'm just giving a random example of showing elbow, as that's the only thing possible right now on a video. So if you are able to hold a posture right here, fine, stay there. You need not overstretch and keep on pushing into that. Remember that yoga postures should never hurt. You may feel challenged, but not to a point of feeling strained. That's the difference between an actual exercise and a yoga posture. So let's take a look for some yoga poses. What we're going to do. We're not going to do any of these. This is not chair yoga. We're not going to just sit on the recliner, eat, sleep, and watch TV. That's not our chair yoga. Let's take a look on the actual poses now. So the first one is the cat and cow stretch. I would rather show you guys this video first, then we can talk about it.
Today's video pose is seated cat-cow pose. So to begin, you want to exhale and you want to look.
Can you still see the video?
Yes, there's just a teeny bit of lag, but it's not bad. Thank you.
Let your back round. So it's like a forward bend, shoulders coming forward, head dropping. And now you're coming, inhaling, you're coming back up, bring the weight onto your leg. Let the belly come out, up, the chest is out and up. You lengthen your spine, the head comes up, you're gazing at the ceiling and the wall meet. And now we're going to do a couple of these. Dropping back, rounding the back, inhaling, forward, lengthening, a little back bend in, and then a forward bend. So this is a great pose for your spine. This is massaging the spine from the tailbone all the way up to your head. Finish with one more. Again, this really massages the spine front to back, from the tailbone all the way up to your head. It's a great pose. I have the best pose on all poses.
All right, so that was the cat-cow stretch. So why do we do that? That helps to improve the flexibility of the spine and it strengthens upper abdominal muscles. The next one is the chair forward bend. Now, what that does is it helps, as you can see in the posture, it will stretch your hamstrings, your calf muscles. Now, other than the musculoskeletal benefit, what we get is the other benefits whenever we do any yoga posture. So this helps to stimulate your liver and kidney function, this particular posture. And this also helps in improving the digestion. Now, some studies have also shown that it helps to calm down your brain. As you can see, it's a little relaxation position and helps to release some stress and depression. That's your chair eagle pose. Now, since we're going to do it in the seated position, it is going to help stretching the upper back and shoulders. This can also be done in standing. That's where it involves all the lower extremity muscles. But since it's chair yoga, it definitely is going to focus on your upper body region there. The next one is the triangle pose. I can share that video again with you guys. just to take a quick peek on how this is performed.
Sit straight in a chair with legs together and feet flat on the floor. Inhale and raise your arms to a T position. Exhale, twist, and bring your left hand down to your right foot. Raise your right hand toward the ceiling and look up. Hold for 3 breaths. Breathe and hold. Now return to an upright position. Repeat to the left. Exhale, twist, and bring your right hand down to your left foot. Raise your left hand toward the ceiling and look up. Hold for 3 breaths. And breathe. Hold. Now return to an upright seated position.
So that was the triangle pose. As we can see, it improves the flexibility of the hamstrings. It strengthens up your core muscles, and this can also help to ease the sluggish digestion, and in some patients, it also helps to relieve the lower back pain. As we saw it in the video, that it was very safe when we do it from the chair compared to standing, because that's where you don't have to worry about losing your balance or straining other muscles. The next one is the seated warrior pose. That again will help to strengthen up all your hip, knee, and ankle muscles. Last but not the least, there are more poses, but I just included the important and interesting ones, followed by the seated child pose. Now this is actually, we can consider as a cool down pose. So that not only helps to stretch your spine, your hips, your legs, but it's also a good way to relax and relieve the tension in all the muscles and to relax your mind. So that is something we can always start with cat and cow and ended up in seated child pose. These are some of the studies I jotted here. I hope, I cannot see anyone. I hope none of you are in this position right now, except Larissa here. Are we still here?
Yeah. Thank you, Prerna.
Okay. Sure.
Yeah, we are not sleeping, Prerna. That was really good.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
I enjoyed it. I'm just looking in the chat room to see if there are any questions, but I had my own observation. I had no thoughts in advance about the ability to help me sleep better, and also my gait speed. I've never thought about my gait speed before. I thought that was so interesting.
Yep.
I do have a question for you on the seated warrior. What muscles are we working on there again? Because I know when I do the warrior, I do sometimes have a problem with balance or maintaining that for a long period of time. I would love to try it seated. So what would I be working on there?
So if you can see, you're actually stretching, it's depending upon which side you're leaning. So if you lean this side, you're actually stretching your hip flexors. But on the contralateral side, you're actually stretching your hamstrings and your calves. And it definitely involves your spine side, like I'm gonna say your obliques.
Excellent. Thank you. This provides many options for many reasons. I could see where someone may wish to try this just even on a temporary basis. As we evolve, and if we're new to yoga like myself, I could definitely see using many of these instead of traditional yoga as I get more comfortable with it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Prerna, thank you so much for sharing with us today. We greatly appreciate it. And I thank you for your time. I know you are a very busy professional, and I greatly appreciate you sharing your time and your talents with us today. For those on the call, I would ask that you consider tuning in on Thursday. We will also have a webinar at 10 and 11, and all the information is on our website, seniorenrichmentday.com. Thank you very much. Have a great day.
Thank you so much.